Okay. So I'll cover these two things which we missed in our last class.
Mhm.
Okay. So after that, so probably we can move to the next item. Okay. So what I have with me as a first item is that mass allocation, and then I have the budget. Okay. So budget. We'll see at the second part. So firstly, I'll show how this mass allocation works. Okay. So primarily, the reason why we will have this functionality or the use of this functionality is that to distribute your expenses basically. Okay. So let's say I have my utility bill. So this is what I have taken as an example for today's session. Okay. So I have my utility bill so that I wanted to generate. So let's say I have my electricity bill. So my office one will have a
Share
specific
screen.
consumption. Yeah, I haven't started sharing. Also, 1 minute. So I'll just open the instance. Just give me a moment. Okay, I have shared my screen. Hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so firstly I'll explain. So what is mass allocation? So mass allocation is a process of distributing the expenses across your cost center. Okay, so this is the use of having this mass allocation as a process. Okay, so now I have a scenario wherein I have my utility bills. Okay, so let's say I have my electricity bill. Okay, so now I have my branch one, I have my branch two. So branch one might have different usages and branch two might have different usage. Okay, so according to the usage, so probably I wanted to generate this expenses because in one building, so probably let's say I have my finance team on first floor and HR on the second floor and IT on the third floor. Okay, so now considering these three departments, I pay for the entire building. And now I wanted to distribute this expenses across the cost center. So this is what I have taken as an thing to explain the mass allocation process. Okay. So now uh, mass allocation process will have certain options wherein we have point of view. Okay, firstly I'll show you where we will actually access this mass allocation. So we have this general ledger. Okay, I think role is not given. So quickly I'll give the role. Okay, so I have given general accountant and general accounting manager because in order to create this rules, so I'll have to access general accounting dashboard. So from there, I'll have to again navigate to this one, mass allocation rules. Rules are the rule sets basically. Okay, so okay, so I have given access to US primary ledger. Okay, so I'll just log out once and log in. Uh,
So Arun, every time we make a change, is it the manually we need to write the run the sync program or the role
no, we
and
can
we
schedule it. We can schedule that
okay.
program.
Okay, it is not automatically triggered as soon as we save the
No,
records, right?
automatically it will not trigger. If required, we can schedule it.
Okay, got it. But it is advised to run every time that we make any change
Yeah,
at
correct.
the security level.
Yeah.
Got it.
Or probably if we log out and log in, so we should be getting it. So if at all we are not getting it, sometime there will be a lag in synchronization. So that is when we'll run this program. So for safer side, I just ran that program.
Got it. Okay. And also, Arun, one more thing, like since we are waiting until we open it. Okay, you got it right. I'll post the question later.
Yeah. Uh, okay. So navigation is this. So I have general accounting tile. So wherein I can click this one, journals. So here on the right hand side, if you see, so you have something called allocation. So there are two things that we will look at it. So one is that creation of allocation rule, and the second one is generation of the allocation rule. So inside allocation, again, you will have the third one. So wherein if you have the intercompany transactions, so if at all you wanted to eliminate this entries, because intercompany transactions are between the entities. So when we talk about the intracompany transactions, so probably you don't need to do it because you will want to understand the payable and receivable inside one particular company, wherein you have branch one and branch two. So that's one thing. And second thing is the intercompany transaction, wherein since this is between the entities, so it could be a different business or whatsoever it is. So now, usually as a practice, what we'll do is that we have this option of intercompany elimination. So how we will have this intercompany elimination is that similarly how we are creating this rules for, I'll be showing it. So how we will create the rules. So similarly, we'll have to create the rules for the intercompany elimination also. So once that rule is created, so we can generate this intercompany allocation, which means the intercompany transactions will be eliminated. Okay. So these are the options that we will have when we talk about the allocation. Okay. So the first thing is that creation of the allocation rule. So now this allocation rule, we will have two components majorly. So we have two components majorly. So one is point of view. So point of view meaning that I have certain criteria. So based on this criteria, I wanted this rule to work. Okay. So let's say I wanted to give four segments. So let's say I wanted to give the currency amount type and then the national account and then the company. So these are the four criteria that I wanted to give. So where I'll give is that I'll give in the point of view. Okay. So this is first thing. So second thing, I have my allocation rules, which I can write inside my calculation manager. Okay. So now this allocation rule will have a series of steps that will have to provide the values there. So based on which it will basically distribute the expenses. So for which we will have three prerequisites. So first thing is that we will need this hierarchy, the accounting hierarchy. Okay. And so accounting hierarchy meaning hierarchy for the cost center or the department. Okay. So we will create a manual, will not be loading it, but we will create a manual hierarchy inside the system. Okay. And we will publish this particular hierarchy, one thing. And second thing is that what we will do is that we will create a stat journal. Okay. So stat journal meaning that we will create one account for this particular statistical, which means it will not have balance in our trial balance, but this will represent the usage of this electricity. I mean, I'm saying electricity because the example that I have taken is the utility bill. So if you are taking another scenario, or if you have some other requirement, so you will define your account based on this. Okay. So now this will be used only for the statistical journals. Okay. So now you will create the statistical journal, which will have the one side of entry. So here in this case, I'm trying to achieve something for my expenses distribution. So what I will do is that I'll give only the debit side of the entry. Okay, so I'll have only the debit side of the entry. So then I'll have the actual entry that is created. Okay, so finally, so based on the rule that we have created, I'll generate this allocation. So which will generate the additional entry or the actual distribution of expenses. Okay, so this is the flow that we wanted to cover. So firstly, I'll show you the screen. So where we'll start, and then we'll start with setting up our hierarchy for the cost center. Okay. So first thing, if you see here, so you will have your balance cubes. Okay. So this balance cubes are nothing but your actual chart of account structure instance. So which will be used as a cube. So when you create your new ledger, when we saw this ledger creation process, so you'll have the balance cubes created when you complete your accounting configuration. So that is the cube that will be used for your accounting information. So when you post any accounting information in the system, the journal entry, so system will post this into balance cube also. So balance cube is nothing but your S-based database, which we discussed earlier. Okay. So there we will have the data. So that is the data we are trying to use here. Okay. Using S-based database. So now if you expand this, you'll have a lot of COA, since this is test environment. So probably if you are using it or you are configuring it in your test or the UAT environment, so you'll have one chart of account, or if you have a big implementation, so probably if you have two chart of account structure, you'll have two. Okay. So now the chart of account structure that I have is that US chart of accounts. Okay, I think it is corporate. So I'll just quickly expand that.
Arun, before that, do we need to define the alternate hierarchy?
Yeah, yes, we need to define it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to show you the screens, and then I wanted to basically create this hierarchy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll just Okay, so this is the structure that we wanted to use. So I have taken the value set code. Okay, so I'll quickly define the tree structure or the tree version basically.
What is manage account and publish account hierarchies?
So manage account hierarchy is creation process, and once it is created, we will have to publish or deploy this hierarchy. So that's the two thing. So they have given us a two different screens, but it's
Oh,
that it's just we are creating it and we are deploying this hierarchy.
so it means like once we create it and we publish it, it goes and syncs with the cube,
Correct.
the
Right.
general. Oh, okay, okay,
Correct.
okay. So it is okay. So instead of we running like a program, it is something
Yeah.
called publish. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
correct. So there are programs also, but this is simpler way of doing it because this will take care of your audit and then the flattening process, everything. So we don't need to go to the schedule process and run it. So that's the thing of having this publish option.
What is flattening, Arun?
So flattening is a process wherein it will sync with the cubes, and audit is the process of basically validating the information that is provided by us.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Or is it clear or?
No, I'm just trying to sync. When we say it is a syncing job where I say, okay, I have created this and this new hierarchy with a different naming. I can have couple of hierarchies. Then
Okay.
I go talk to, I try to sync it or publish it in uh, the balance cube, right? And
Correct.
there again, there is something called, I'm hearing something called flattening, row flattening and column flattening. So
Right.
that's where I don't know the exact what is happening, what is happening at the row flattening and what is happening at the column flattening. It's not that clear. Probably
Yeah.
finish this, then we can talk about it. I don't want it to move the topic away.
Yeah, sure. But to give a simple this thing, so flattening is a process. So there are two actions that system will take. So first thing is that it will look for the validation. So validation you can take it as an audit so that we know. So the second process is that the deployment. So deployment is the process where it will get synced with the cube. So meaning I have, let's say, one parent, 200 is my parent value. So under that I have 201, 202 and 203. So these are the three values that I have. Okay. So now if I do audit, so system is going to check one thing is that it's going to check the value set code and everything is active or not. And then it is going to check if I have made this tree version and active status. Okay, so once this is done, so this audit process completes, which means the data that is being entered by me is correct. So once this is done, so what system will do is that it will push it to S-base cube, or I would say meaning that it will sync with S-base cube. So this synchronization process is what we call it as flattening process.
Oh, okay. Synchronization job is called flattening process. Okay. So the first is validation at the
Yeah,
ledger level itself. Okay, fine. Am
yeah,
I using an active account and it
correct,
goes and checks with my okay the value set the structure whether the
correct,
values are available or not. Okay. So
correct.
it's always can I put I mean the definite the header level, I mean the parent hierarchy level, header level, I can it is a text field, right? I can put whatever name I wanted, but the child values it needs to be present in my COA structure in any of my segment, right?
No, even this parent value, we will have it in the COA values.
No, I'm talking about when you're creating the hierarchy, like as you said, expense hierarchy or utility allocation, something like that. That is a header I was talking about there. Then I
Okay.
under that I can call either a parent or a child value of what,
Correct.
but those are
Correct. Correct.
supposed to be actively enabled and having actively enabled in the COA, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, okay.
Okay.
So when we are syncing is what we call it as flattening. Then what is the difference between row flattening and column flattening?
So that's what. So when you talk about cubes, so you have two things. So one is that row and the column. So that's why it's called as an multi-dimensional cube. So which means I can pull data having my, so this is kind of an pivot wherein I can drag and drop my fields, which means
Mm.
I will have my column accounting period, or let's say account, or let's say the department. So department I can have it as a row, or I can have it as a column also, which means this
Okay, got
inform.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
So depending upon if where I put my cost center, whether it
Correct,
is in a row or a column, depending upon that, when I make the changes here in the hierarchy levels, then I say okay,
correct,
instead of syncing the entire thing, I say okay, just go do the corresponding. If it is in row, I say row flattening. If it is in column, I say go column flattening. Right?
correct, correct,
Okay,
correct.
got it. Okay, 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 got it. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just create a tree. So let me call it as department. Okay, and the structure is accounting flex field, because based on this, my COE value set will be given here as a parameter. Okay, so here I have two things. So one is that detail. So detail is nothing but my child, and parent is of course the parent value that I wanted to give. So basically, based on this, my nodes are created. Nodes meaning that my parent and child is built based on this. Okay, so I have copied the value set. So I'll just give this. Okay, so I'll just save and click next. Okay, and this is optional. If at all you want to give a label, so you can give. So label is just to identify. Okay, it's kind of an grouping. Okay, so I'll just submit this. So now the tree is created. So I'll create a tree version for this department.
So Arun, here
Uh,
since we are calling only the value set, right? The same value set I can use it in multiple structure instance.
yeah, yeah, we can use it.
Uh, uh, so how is the cube rebuild if I wanted to look only for one ledger, right?
Correct.
So that I will have to build it in the rule, allocation rule.
Allocation rule only we'll have to build it, because here if you see, so it's completely based on the values that we are deriving the values. Yeah,
Okay, got it. Okay.
yeah. Okay, so I'll add it manually, but you have the Excel sheet also, the COA values. So I'll probably after this I'll show what are the fields that should be entered, and how do we import the hierarchy of the tree values and then the normal COA values. Okay, so for now I'm creating it as a manual this thing. Okay, so we gave two things for value set. I mean, value sets has been attached to detail as well as parent. Okay, so what I have it now here is that the detailed one. So if I have parent, so I can give it here. Okay, so let's take okay, let me take support. Okay, okay, first let me add this one, support, and under this let me add the child values of support. So let me add customer support, US support, and India support. Okay, so these are the three values that I have given. Okay, so which means under this I have three child values. Okay, so now I'll just activate this, set the status as active. Okay, so this will ask me to audit, so I'll just audit this. Okay, so the audit is completed without any error. So this status should be changed to active now. So the next step is to publish. Yeah, so the status has changed to active. So I will publish this hierarchy. So here for this, using this value set, so I might have created multiple hierarchies. So what I'm doing is that, so I'm searching using hierarchy because that's the unique name. So I'll search with this, and I'll click search. Okay, so if you expand this, so you have this publish checkbox. So unless you enable this checkbox, so it will not publish. So it will still run on the background, but the process will not complete. So we'll have to enable this checkbox and then publish. Okay, so this has triggered uh, a scheduled job. So I'll just check if the process is completed. Okay, so let's see. We have submitted it, but still it's not even started, I think. So let's see if this comes between that. Okay, so now First thing is that I'll take the structure. So the structure is US chart of accounts. Yeah, so this is the one. Okay, so here you have two things. So one is that rule set, and the other one is that rules. So rules you will find it here. So let's say you have a requirement wherein you have multiple rules. Let's say this is not only about the utility bills. So even if it is utility bills, so you have your telephone. So telephone, of course, you'll not have it because you'll have different connections. So based on that, you'll have your billing cycle and everything. Okay. So apart from that, utility bills, like you have the electricity, and then you have your internet usages, and you have your rent allocations. So all these things are there. So for each one of it, you have written different rules, the mass allocation rules. Okay. So now you can take all these rules and create it as one rule set. So now, when you schedule this process, which means that when you try to trigger this for a particular month, so instead of triggering for every rules, so you can trigger based on your rule set, which means if you have 10 or 20 rules that is created, so you can aggregate into one particular rule set, and you can use this rule set to generate your allocations basically. So that's why you have a rule set and the rules. So what I'll do is that I'll take rules. Okay. So just do a right click and you'll have option to create a new rule. So that is new. Okay. So let me create city. Okay. So the application is S-based, and then the I mean again it's about the COA instance that is being used. Okay, so that's the thing that will be taken as a DB. So I'll just say okay. Okay, so this is the standard one that you will have when you open it. So there are two things that you will add to this. So first thing is that point of view, and then the second thing is allocation. Okay, and finally you have formula. So formula is less likely used because it's used when you have an requirement. Let's say I have a parent and child structure in a way that this child value is part of my hierarchy. Okay, so let's say I have my head office, which will, or let's say the IT. So IT is part of this chart. I mean the cost center. Okay, or let me put in the Excel. Okay, so now let's say there are four departments: IT, finance, and then let's say business operations, sales. Okay, so now, so one thing how I can have my hierarchy is that, so probably since I have this IT department, so this I'll not include in my structure. So that is the suggested approach. Okay, so what I will do is that for electricity, I will have hierarchy 1. So under this, I'll have these cost centers. Okay, so this I'll have as a separate child value. Okay. So now what I will do is that, so when I create any journal entry or any subledger transaction and that I'm pushing it to GL, so I will map it to this particular cost center. So that is to IT, because the bill that I'm getting is upon IT. So I'll use this as an base for my invoicing. So now, even though I use it for this thing, so what I'll do is that I'll split this amount to finance, business operations, and sales as well. So now, let's say this is also part of this hierarchy. So now what I can do is that, so usually if you configure system in such a way that you give, so basically you have this range, so wherein you will give your parent value. So now, since I have the journal already created for IT, if you give the structure as it is, so system will throw error that there is no balance to this particular allocation rule. Okay. So now what you can do is that you can define formula. So formula will consist of only three things. So one is that your source meaning your source is the actual transaction criteria that you provide, and then your target meaning how you want to transform your accounting or distribute your accounting. Okay. And third is your offset. So offset is where you want to basically put this thing, the account and this thing. Okay. So these are the three things that you will have in formula. Okay. So we'll see that also. So first I'll show you this one. Okay. So first I'll take this one. So it's just drag and drop. Okay. So I have taken a point of view. Okay. So here, so you have certain values that needs to be picked as mandatory. So though you will not have the sign as mandatory, so there are certain things that needs to be given. For example, your scenario and your period and something like this. Okay. And apart from that, whatever you have not given here, so the reason why you will give values here is that, meaning these are all your fixed values. Okay, so when I say fixed, which means that you know that these are the values that you are going to pick. So again, for accounting period, again you can have the variable component also, so which means, so you can just click this. So you'll have variable and you'll have member. So member is a constant value. Okay. You'll just select from the list of value and you will populate that. And variable is something that you will provide this as an runtime parameter, which means when you generate your allocation rule, so if you click generate allocation, so there you'll have this as one parameter to add, that is accounting period. Because there are certain things wherein you cannot change your periods every time, so you'll have to set this as an variable. Okay. And you will provide as an runtime parameter. Okay. So that's what about your criteria. So quickly I'll give the values here. Okay. So let me keep it for the current period. Okay, I should be taking this one, I think. Okay. Similarly, the other dimensions as well. So this is US primary ledger. So okay, so I'll just take 101. And the line of business, even this is constant. Let me give this as none. And then the account. Okay, let me. I'm not sure the number exactly, so I'll just check the account number for this. It's 3530. Yeah, so this is the one. Okay, so cost center, I don't want to give it at this point because I will give I'll give when I define the allocation rule. Okay, so I'll just leave that alone as blank. So this also I'll give it as 0. I mean the default one. Okay, so let me leave a scenario also. So scenario also I'll give it when I basically give the allocation. Okay, and this is USD. Okay, yeah, so I'll just note down the values that I have given so that I can create the journals in the same this thing. Okay, so company is 101. Line of business is 00.
Account is 3053530.
0,
Sorry, 63. Sorry, 63530.
530. Yeah,
Next is
and
cost at product intercompany 00.
okay, yeah, all are 00. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this is my point of view. So let me save this and add the allocation to this. Okay, so I'm just leaving these two, or let me give this one the currency type. So this I'll select as total.
Arun,
Okay,
there is something called entered, converted all. What is that? Entered
yeah,
is your
so
entered currency, your transaction currency.
correct.
And converted will be your accounted currency.
Yeah, converted is accounted currency. That's right.
Okay. So converted all means it will consider both entered and accounted
No,
also.
converted all meanings the total. Again, the so this is entered, and this is total of this value, the entered one, and converted is the individual one that we are selecting, and converted all meaning the total for that particular.
Total. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
Okay, so I just say next. Yeah, so this is source. So source, let me select it as, I think 201 we did not select, I think. Let me pick this one. Okay, and let me give the balance amount also. So that is PTD, which means for a particular period I'm selecting it. So in this case, it is November. Okay. So then this
Here you
is,
selected the cost center as global support, right? 210. But in the hierarchy, when we the account hierarchy, when we built, it was considering only the support, and then there we had like customer support, US support, India support, right?
yeah, correct. So the source is nothing but the actual transaction that we created. So meaning that I have created one invoice. So this one invoice having one line. So that is this particular value. So if you see here, so this IT
Okay,
is
then
what,
it will
yeah,
go distribute among the other the three
yeah,
cost center.
correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
correct.
it
So,
took under global support. Got it.
yeah, correct. So the distribution is what we are entering it here in the allocation range.
Okay.
So this allocation range, it will allow us to choose only the parent value. So based on which it will pick. So I'll just show. So if you try to pick your child value, so it will not even allow us to proceed further,
Okay.
because this is where it will take the parent and child. And also if we want to use the mass allocation, so we will need this hierarchy in place. So unless we have the hierarchy, we will not be able to complete this setup itself.
Oh, okay. I think if we search, it should be something support.
Okay. Mm, okay, 1 minute.
I don't know whether it had alias, but okay.
Yeah, I mean the alias is this one description actually.
Mhm. Do we need to give the exact thing?
Yeah, the exact one we should give, so or
Uh,
else it will not give results actually.
mhm.
Okay, so let me take this once. Okay, it is 200 support. Okay, so for now, let me take this one because I'm not sure exactly which one was created by us. So for time being, I'll take this one. Okay, because the names we have given is actually it's almost similar to what is there in the environment. So that's the thing. Okay, so the offset. So the offset account that will give us this one global support. Yep, this one 10. Okay. Yeah, so probably if we have, let's say I have 10 accounts inside this hierarchy, but whereas I wanted to distribute it with only 8 accounts, so the remaining 2 I don't want to distribute it. What I can do is that I can exclude it here. Okay, but we use this very less, so I'm just using the taking the structure as it is. But if we have or if we have a requirement to exclude it, so probably from here we can exclude it. So
So
basically,
excluding means I will add only the required child value like a member.
yeah, correct. So the
Okay.
whatever the exclusion that we have given, so system will not consider this for the distribution of expenses.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and this is basis basically. So how do we want to distribute our expenses is what we are giving it here. So here on top, if you see, so you have two options. So when we say allocate using a basis, which means whatever setups that we are doing it, so based on this, basically system will allocate the expenses. Or if you say allocate evenly, so which means if there are 10 departments or the 10 cost centers that we have in our hierarchy, so it's going to distribute. So let's say if it is 1 lakh, it is going to say 10,000 each. Okay, so that's about the evenly, but what we are trying to use it that allocate using the basis. So which means, so the account that we are giving it here, so this will be validated. So now this information basis, what I have given it, or what I'm trying to give is nothing but the information that I have given in my stat journal. Okay. So, I mean, stat journal, I haven't created it, but the information, whatever I'm giving it here, the same thing I'm going to give for my stat journal as well. Okay.
Will it not take it from the real one? I don't. Do we need to do it from? I mean, actual ones. Do we need to do create a SAT journal here?
A real one meaning,
See,
real
for
one meaning,
example, the
okay,
actual journals. For example, for October month, I have paid an electricity of a lakh
okay,
from a global support. Okay, so in that
okay,
case, for October month, when I do the allocation, it has to allocate between all the cost center. Probably I have 8 or 9 cost center.
okay,
You take it as 10 cost center. I
okay.
say evenly distribute. So it should be like 10,000 per cost center, right? Then
Yeah,
why do we need to have a stat journal? I
yeah.
can
So that's
actually,
what, yeah.
got it.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. So here I'm using this basis, which means whatever the criteria that I'm giving here, I'm using it. Or as you said, if I have, let's say 10 accounts, I wanted to distribute it, I can select this option. So if I'm
Mhm.
selecting this option, I don't need to give these values. So I simply can select allocate evenly and complete this setup. So which will distribute it automatically, as you said. So I don't
Mhm.
want to give it manually. So the reason why I am giving it manually is because I have certain exclusion and I have certain values that needs to be populated. So if I don't have this requirement, So I can select this option, allocate evenly. So which will basically allocate evenly based on the hierarchy that we have defined or we have set up. So we don't need to give these options in that case.
Oh, okay, got it. So it will be from the when you say hierarchy, the account hierarchy that we defined,
Correct.
right? So
Correct.
okay, so that will actually override the exclusion here.
Yeah, that will override the exclusion.
Oh, okay, 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 got it.
Okay, so I have selected this period. Okay, and primarily I'll have to select the currency as stat. So okay, so let me pick this one, the balance amount. So the balance amount I'm taking it as YTD. Okay, so I'll select ending balance and the current. Okay, before that I'll select the amount type as YTD because if I have ending balance, so I should be having the amount type as YTD. Okay, so basically the scenario balance and amount type and this one currency. So these are mandatory columns that we need to give basically, and also the account, because based on this information which we are giving, so system will identify and it will allocate the or distribute the expenses. Okay, I think I did not create an account for this. Um, okay. Okay, it's 9 8.
Will it automatically populate here? Because we are in the cube, right? Once you enter the value code, values in the value set, don't we need to have any run any sync job? It will automatically populate it.
Yeah, I mean, it
Okay.
will come basically. If it is
Oh,
not there, we'll have to run this create queue, but it's not mandatory that we will
oh,
create it, I mean, run everything.
got it. The published job is still not picked
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
right?
That's what even I was trying to say. I mean, I would say this one. The hierarchy that we chose is not ours, I think, because this program has not completed. So that's why we did not get ours in the list, I think, because
Oh,
ours
okay, got
is,
it.
yeah, it's support. I mean, we searched with values, so since it had 200, so we selected, but I think ours did not even complete this process. That's why it
Hmm.
did not appear there. But I think the scheduled jobs are not running. So it's putting the status as ready, but it's not processing, I think.
But only this roles in job has completed, right? Other than that, nothing is.
Yeah, only this has completed.
Oh.
So after that, whatever we ran, so it did not even start. It's not even running actually. It's just get the status and ready.
Arun, in R12, we used to have in sysadmin, we used to have a place to monitor all this
Correct.
job, right? Request ID, and then we can go put it in pause or
Correct.
delete it from scan.
Yeah.
Do we have such kinds here in Fusion?
No, in Fusion, we cannot bounce or do this thing, but we
Mhm.
have option to see the scheduled processes. So you have a role for that. So I
Mhm.
think the role starts with the name ESS job. So if you attach that role to the user, so this
Mhm.
particular user will be able to see the scheduled process that has been run by all the users. But to hold and then kickstart it and
Mhm.
then restart the concurrent manager and these things, so this cannot be done in cloud actually.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
So
It's like
it's
only
just, yeah, it's just we
monitoring we can
can,
do. Okay.
yeah, correct. Only the monitoring thing that we can do. Okay, I think this process is still running. So for time being, what I'll do is that I'll pick some other account, I mean the call center, because once that is done, so we should be getting it. So let me see
Can
if,
we, can we get something related to the same ledger? Any other rule that is being defined just to see how
yeah,
the
sure, yeah, sure, we can see it.
yeah. Then if the rule is already there, depending upon the rule, the source, we can create one journal for a November period and then run it, right? That should be
Yeah,
fine. Huh?
yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's see if this one works. This one doesn't have the allocation. Probably this should have. Yeah, so this has this. Yeah, so this is the account they have used. So yeah, so they have defined something called headcount, so which they are using. So they did not give specific name like the consumption or something, but they are using this as an headcount and they are creating entry with this particular thing. Okay, we will use this for time being and we'll try to generate this allocation entry. Okay, I'll just note this rule name.
Arun, it is not commission, it is communication.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so I'll just use this.
Mm.
The surface side, I'll just validate and deploy this.
Okay, so do we need to create a journal? The account we need to
Yeah,
keep
we
it,
need to
right? The
create.
64
Yeah, yeah,
six four
correct.
one zero. Okay.
Yeah, correct. So we'll
Oh.
create two journals. So one is the stat journal that we'll create, and another one is the actual journal entry. And we'll use those two and we'll distribute the expenses.
Mm. So that green color check mark means it is being validated and deployed, right?
Correct. Correct.
Oh, oh, okay. Validate and save. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So this is to validate and save, and
Mm.
this is just to validate. If it's already saved, you can use this, and this is to deploy.
Deploy. Okay, got it.
Okay. So let me change the currency to stat. Okay. So account is 91000 and cost center. I'll select from two series. So let me select customer support, US support, and India support.
It is 222.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me just go with these three, this thing, and post the entry. And then the second entry is electricity. Sorry, this is not electricity, so this is commission. Sorry, communication.
It is 64510, I guess, if I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, 6451 communication.
Yeah, 64510. Okay, I think the department I wanted to choose is 210, I think. Okay, so this,
We need to give some liability account, right?
yeah, correct, correct. So I'm
Okay.
just changing it because
Oh,
I
got it.
wanted to give here as zero and there as the
Okay,
actual
got it.
cost. So, okay, so we are booking this expense and we wanted to distribute it. So I'll just post this entry. Oh, this is
Oh,
not posting.
oh, it's something wrong with the.
Yeah, so this needs to be cleared actually. So after clearing this only we'll be able to generate the this thing.
I think some Mace's job got stuck in long running status or
Yeah, so this is
canceling
the one it
status.
got stuck actually. Let's try to cancel these two maybe. No, still it's not processing. No, I think this is not processing actually.
Yeah, I think something is wrong in the
Yeah,
scheduler, I guess. Yeah.
yeah,
Fine. I think without this, there's no point.
yeah,
Even if we
correct.
run the allocation, the journals will be stuck in our
Yeah, it will not generate.
What is the
Mm,
other topic? Probably next week we can take Arun. We don't want it to
okay.
waste your time and our time. If you can, if you have anything in your test environment where you have valid allocation, or if you're able to do something here and take a screenshot, that is also will be helpful. At least to know, okay, what are the steps that we need to follow, right? If not,
Yeah,
next week we can actually start from running the job.
yeah, sure. So test instance, so for allocation, I don't have it because
Oh,
for
okay.
one we did, but that one was closed, so I don't
Oh,
have those credentials also with me. So, okay, let
then
me try to let me see if this work after some time. So let me document it and
okay.
I'll share. Probably you can also try, and if you find any issue or something, so we'll look at it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the half of the thing we have almost done because after this configuration, which means this basic, so it's just validating and deploying it in this one. Okay. So once that deployment is
How
done,
do you trigger the program from the calculation manager itself?
no program will run it from here actually. So if we go here, so we have this one generate,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
general ledger allocations.
Mm-hmm.
So here we can select our rule, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we can just specify the period. So this is basically the variable.
Got it.
Yeah. So so let me pick something randomly. So if you give this and it just says submit, again this program will get stuck, I think.
Oh, post journal
No,
got
this
succeeded.
is
The
working.
first job.
Yeah, yeah. Let me release the process. I think it is taking some time, but it's processing. It's a bit late, I think.
Very late for one journal, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyway, it's working, so I'll just document it and
Mm-hmm.
I'll share it in the group. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So the process is this. So once we generate this, I mean, we trigger this program. So this will generate another entry. So that will be the allocation entry. Okay. So that, so what would be the accounting impact is that? So when we, okay, so it will go something like this. So I have two entries. So one, let's say, so let me call this 201, 202, 203, 204. Okay. So my actual expense booking would be its communication debit. Okay. And credit as my cash account. Now I will have my expense, sorry, the cost center as my what do you call 201. for communication. Okay, and for this I'll have as 0, I mean the default cost center. So now I'll have this as 1 lakh. Sorry. Okay, and again here I'll have 1 lakh. So now when I generate this mass allocation, so this will give me another set of entry. So the way that particular entry will look like is this, something like this. So I'll have my 202, 203 and 204. Okay, so these three accounts, so this will be divided by 3, so which will give me 33,000, something around this. Okay. So now I will have 201 on the credit side. So which will give me 1 lakh. So now this will be knocked off, and the net effect, if you see, so on the debit side I'll have these cost centers, and then I'll have my cash account. So this will be the net effect. I mean, once we generate that, so this is the journal that will be created by the system.
But if I have to distribute even for two not one, right? So it will be 25, 25, and
Correct,
then the
25, 25.
debit will
Right.
be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it depends upon the formula that we give on the
Yeah.
basis side, whether
Yeah.
it is
Correct.
evenly or on basis. Okay, got it.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So
Then what
I'll
is the
just
point
say,
of creating a SAT entry here, Arun? There's no point, there's no need for creating a SAT entry here, right? Because we are doing on the actuals itself, isn't it? So cost, the stat will come only for the head count, isn't it? Where I don't
yeah,
have any financial impact.
no financial impact. It is only to understand the head count.
Okay, got it.
Hi Arun, actually I missed the class, right? So, just for my understanding, I want to know like in allocations, if could you please open the Excel sheet once?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So if this is the accounting entry which our system creates, right?
Right.
So I want to understand like do we provide any percentages from the source account to the destination accounts, or how it will work?
No, it's not the percentages. So we
Uh-huh.
cannot give percentages. So based on the percentages, we will give the stat journal. So this entry is being generated based on the stat journal that we have given, one thing. So this is one option, and the second option is that evenly distributed. So let's say you have 4. So
Mm.
if you click evenly distribute, it's going to just distribute whatever it's under this particular tree. So the
Okay.
percentage, in a way you can distribute is that using this stat journal. So let's say you want to distribute 20% and you don't want to give it for one entity. So let's say you wanted to give only for these three. So what
Mm.
you will do is that you will give 33% each. So
Okay.
you will exclude this. So there is an option, so which we saw. So maybe you can check this recording also. So we have something called exclusion. So now
Okay.
in the exclusion we will include this particular uh, cost center, that is IT. So the
Okay.
remaining ones we will include it, which means system will understand in a way that I should allocate 33% to finance, 33% to business operation, and respectively. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So actually we will not give the percentages, but the way that we give the entry, system
Mm.
will understand in a way that I should allocate 30% here, 20% here.
Okay. Okay. Got it. It will prorate accordingly by
Correct.
included accounting entries and excluded accounting,
Correct,
right?
correct. Correct.
Okay, got it. And when we have provided 202, 203, 204, right? Those are the summary accounts, and whatever accounts, child accounts fall under that account, it will be prorated, and that's how it works.
No, summary account would be, I can say 200. So 200
Uh-huh.
is my summary account.
Okay.
So so these are my the
Actual
child
accounts,
accounts.
child accounts. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So these, yeah. So these,
Sandhya, we will not post entries to summary accounts, I guess, right?
Right,
We'll
right,
put,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So, okay, but let's suppose if I have want to prorate, means allocate the source amount to all the accounts which is falling under the summary account, that we cannot do, right? In that case.
no, that is what I'll say as the evenly option.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I need to check the recording once. Yeah, let me go through the recording and then I will understand. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
one,
until we work on that calculation manager, right? There are certain things not we'll not have a hands on it. I mean, we will not able to understand the logic.
okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. And one more thing, from business perspective, in which requirements, what will be their requirement to implement this allocations? How will
So
you know?
yeah, so one such case that I have taken is that the utility bills. So which means that let's say they are paying electricity for a particular building, but then the usage wise, if you look at it, so it's the multiple departments that is being that is using this particular what do you call as a 20% or whatever the headcount that we wanted to give. So it's the aggregation of multiple departments sitting in this particular building is the actual, let's say 1 lakh. 1 lakh is
Okay,
the electricity bill for this building, but it's been used by different departments. So in this
okay,
example, I have taken these four departments is what consumed for 1 lakh rupees. So
okay,
this is one example that you can take. Our rent allocation is known for everyone. So this is one thing.
okay.
And the other case, so for this utility bill, again, you can use the distribution set and payable module also. But
Mm,
if there is a need that to distribute it at the journal level, so you
mm.
can use this functionality called mass allocation.
Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh,
Usually, Sandhya, the senior accountants, right? They will,
uh,
this all will become their month-end activities.
uh,
So you can check with them once you go talk to them, right? So they
mm,
will say, okay, fine, this is what I do it at the end of the month. I go allocate it. So it can be for like whatever Arun was saying. It can be mostly for expenses. We allocate it across the cost department or across the product if it is a manufacturer unit, right? So
mm.
depending upon that they will actually go. Or that's where we get the requirement from the accountant. So usually it is all month-end job. They don't do it every day.
Right, right. Yeah. Oh,
Even at the revenue level, you can actually do it. It depends how they want it to do.
okay, okay. Got it. Yeah.
Mm. So that's where when you go, you one is the daily transaction that we ask at the
Mm.
ledger level, and usually all this they will give you for month end. This is what I have recurring and my expenses, my allocations. This is what I do. So they actually give you with that set.
Okay, okay. Okay, from what will be the parent account from which we have to allocate to what all accounts that they will be providing us, and we can go ahead and create this allocation rule.
Yeah, if you're using the same values, if not, if you're using a different chart of account when you're implementing it, then you need to have do a mapping, and then accordingly you have to drill down. Okay, this is what I'm going to do it in your new system.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it,
Sometimes
got
they
it.
also revise it. Sometimes you can also suggest this is not required, or sometimes they will also revise. Okay, this is not this is a monotonous job. I do it. I don't want to do it. So
Right.
it can. come here and there, but we will have to work on only, mostly it will be on Excel with client, senior accountant or accountant, whoever does this job, right? And then we
Mm.
will have to go with our new chart of account, if at all if you're using the new values. Yes.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Arun.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so if we are fine, so probably we can move to next one. Okay, this is still running. Yeah, so I'll document this and I'll share it in the group. So probably you can work it out. And if you have any issue, I mean, completed, or if you have any doubt or anything, so probably we can connect. You can post it in the group, or probably next week if we want to discuss, we can discuss. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the